Welcome to This Broadcast Belongs to Them. We are finally back. What's up, everybody?
Hello.
Hello.
Hiya.
I've missed each and every one of you.
Missed you guys too.
I feel like it's been forever.
Yeah.
I miss you guys at all.
Too. It has been.
Thanks, Ralph.
I'm a prick.
You are.
It is
true.
Dr. Fuck. You know.
Dr. Fuck in action.
In action. And I've been listening to your podcast. I've been kind of like, I've had a lot of stuff build up lately, and I've been going through all the last ones that you've put up there, and there's some really good ones. I really enjoyed the Sabotage one you just did.
Thanks.
I got to get to the AC/DC one yet, and what was the other
All
one?
done many months ago.
Yeah. What was the other one I listened to? It was Sabotage, and then there was...
I did 2 AC/DC episodes with Will Carroll.
But before that?
Oh, man, I got a shitty memory.
Yeah, I know.
Blue Oyster Cult, maybe?
Blue Oyster Cult, yes.
Yeah,
That
I saw that one.
All really good ones. So everybody, please go check that out. They're
Thank
on
you.
our network. Yep. Good shows. But today, we are here to talk about King Diamond, The Graveyard. Now, on the last
I'm not
episode...
crazy about that cover.
I know. And we talked about this on the last episode, that they had 2 different covers. This is the remastered version, where they had to make a new cover because apparently they lost the original cover, which looks like this. So we got looks like a real headstone. This other one looks like a digitized little headstone thing here, and I don't like it.
I got them both.
Yeah.
But
So-
isn't there a difference in the sound of the vinyl? Did they remix it or something? I think Andy LaRoche remixed it, right?
Yeah, it's remastered.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why they redid it. It's a whole
Yeah, I'd like to
remastered
hear
series.
It's
Actually,
different.
Yeah, the vinyl
On
actually
vinyl.
does sound better, I think. Because I was
Yeah.
listening to the vinyl a couple of weeks ago and noticed that there is a different sound than there is on the CD, even the remastered CD. Just the vinyl just sounds better. Which is
They
good
were
because...
kind of playing on the raw low end here a little bit.
Right.
So
And I think the
makes
vinyl
sense.
helps that out a little bit. Makes it a little bit more fuller. So go check out the vinyl. I hope they reissue these too, because they've reissued everything else so far. So I don't know how far they're going to go with those.
I just recently purchased Melissa, Don't Break the Oath, and Them. The color vinyl ones, because I hated what they did to Them on the... Because they crammed just about the whole album on one side, and then the second side I think only had one track, and the rest was that unnecessary, sounds. It sounds
the
like it's
rehearsal
recorded
stuff,
on a
right?
boombox.
Yeah. Those
Yeah.
stupid
And-
rehearsals that were.
And Melissa, I
Melissa.
bought because of it took out the extra little vocals on the title track. That I never really hated, but I'm so used to the original version
Yeah.
that I was like, I need to have that on vinyl again. You know, I've always had it on CD, and the only reason I bought Don't Break the Oath is because it brought the castle in the back
Right.
and all that shit. I hated that picture, just a picture of King. It's like, this ain't King Diamond, it's Merciful Fate,
Yeah.
you know?
Right, yeah.
So, you know, to have, I just bought that to have all the members on there again, you know?
I did the same exact thing. I love that back cover over there, and
It's
without
so
having that
cool.
original, it's just not as
Did
cool
you
with the
see,
other.
by the way, and it is a King Diamond podcast, there is a show that I've never seen before from the Don't Break the Oath tour on YouTube now. It's a single camera, but it's that stage, and King comes out
really?
of that. Yeah,
Yep.
it's super cool, man.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
I've never seen it before, and I know I own a lot of Merciful Fate bootlegs. But yes, the first like 30 minutes is very scratchy and shit, but then it gets really clear.
It's
After
worth
30 minutes.
watching. The whole
It's
thing.
it's a headline game. It's awesome.
Oh, very nice. I'll have to check that out. I like watching that kind of stuff. So, let's get into the graveyard. The graveyard. A mentally ill king finds himself in a graveyard where he's remembering why he's there in the first place. Just a little crazy intro with him talking to himself. And then we get into a Black Hill Sanitarium, where a king has been locked up, and he's been looking for a way out the whole time. And he does not like being there at all. Who likes being in a sanitarium anyway, right?
Is it King?
But it's nice.
He doesn't even give his character a
Yeah,
name.
he doesn't give his character a name. Yeah.
The narrator.
Narrator, I guess. Which is
No,
kind
it
of
came
strange
from
because
them.
usually other characters, he's given them a name, and for some reason he didn't give this one his name. I don't know why. But starts off Black Hill Sanitarium. Pretty cool song. I noticed right away. Once again, the sound has gotten very thin on this album, even more so than the previous album, Spider's Lullaby. So I'm a little bothered by that, but it's still, I think it sounds pretty cool. The drums are a little weird sounding, but very cool song. It's got some catchy stuff in there. Nothing crazy. It's not my favorite song on the album, but it's a decent track to start the album off with.
I
Lisa?
like it a lot.
You do like it a lot?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it too. Yeah, I think it's Sabbathy. It's got heavy riffage. I think what kind of, I had a memory of this album kind of like, what the fuck? And then I revisited it for this. So thank you for inviting me to revisit this album because I love it. It's like the Doom album. It's like King Diamond's Doom album. And I think that's what kind of trips people out. I think some of the mix is like off. I think I heard the remaster version. To me, the bass sounds really like ill-defined and kind of thrummy. So I just wish I could hear more bass guitar because I could tell there's some cool stuff going on. The vocals are kind of a weird mix, and the guitars are kind of dime baggy or something. I don't know. It just sounds different. But I think this is a cool song. It goes like it's mid-tempo and kind of slow, and then it picks up like double kicks. It's and what I love, I just love this kind of Sabbathy, riffy approach on this song, and that's reflected in the rest of the album. So I dig it.
Yeah. I love this is for the mentally ill, those who have lost their will. It's so catchy.
Yeah.
And I love this song. I think it's very catchy, especially the gotta get out of here part.
Yeah.
And the strange, it's strange change where I'm going down deep into the black of my mind. It's pretty strange and demented.
Yeah.
But I think it's a very strong way to kick off this album. And I will also add that, out of everybody I know in real life here, this album is kind of like the black sheep. Not a lot of people down here like it.
Yeah.
And I can see why, because I don't think every song's a winner on here, but I'm such a, King Diamond nut swinger. Anything he does, I love. But I will admit, there's some songs that are just a little too over my head, but there's some really good stuff on here. And Black Hill Sanitarium is one of them.
Greg?
Yeah, I love this song. This is like Ralph was saying, they're not always quite on here. This is probably his most bug fuck crazy story he's ever done.
Definitely,
really,
I agree with you. Definitely the most demented, fucked up story because there's pedophilia in this shit. It's crazy.
Yeah. And, even the music itself is just very dark. But my problem with this record, even though I like it a lot because I love King Diamond, they kind of sacrificed the musicianship for atmosphere and creepiness a little bit. Works very good as an audio horror movie, but it gets really fucking boring at some points. But not on the first half of it, because there are some great riffs in this song here, like Lisa was saying, Sabbathy. Reminds me a little bit of, Melissa era, Merciful Fate, too, with some of what Andy's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the solo.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, and like we said, you were saying before too, Ralph. This story is like totally fucked up. I mean, it's just when I was going through the lyrics and things like that, because I knew the lyrics from listening to the songs, but then when I'm finding out with some lyrics that I kind of maybe couldn't understand, and then I see it a little bit better reading them, this is just such a messed up story.
It's really disturbing.
It's very disturbing, and actually, I think there's a warning inside the cover or inside the booklet or something about. I can't remember what the hell it was about this subject.
And I think this is King at his most demented at vocal deliveries.
Yes.
I mean, it's just so insane. Some parts, it's just a little too much. It's like, God damn, dude, chill out. Die. You know that part?
Yeah, that one.
Die.
Songs.
Yeah,
but like Whispers is awesome.
Well, Whispers is shit. Whispers is like, what is it, 10 seconds? It should be part of I'm Not a Stranger.
Yeah, you think they would just take it off?
It's kind of an intro. It's just if somebody wants to play the song, you cut the intro into a separate track so that, the guy on the metal radio station doesn't play it and go, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Yeah. People, you want to cut to the kung fu. You take the dialogue part and you separate that.
Well, plus, Lisa, you would know because you're a musician. The more tracks you make, the more money you make. So
that's true.
By making Whispers a separate track, you get more money.
You get another 0.0018 cents on Spotify. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Exactly. Unless you're King Diamond, you get like at least 5 cents.
Yeah. Actually, I should have read this first, but there's actually a foreword in the booklet here, and it says, "Seen through the eyes of a lunatic, me." So I guess this is him in the story. The story portrays some of the darkest sides of the human mind. It deals with hate, fear, guilt, revenge, justice, injustice, twisted love, innocence, and a perverted swine by the name of Mackenzie, the mayor who molested his own 7-year-old daughter, Lucy, and blamed it all on me. I, the lunatic, am trying to the best of my ability to bring Mayor Mackenzie back to justice for all the crimes he has committed. In many ways, I fall miserably. Fortunately, none of the characters in the story are real, but unfortunately, they are all too realistic. Anyway, whether we like it or not, we all have bad thoughts, and that's perfectly all right, as long as we do not act upon them. Therefore, do not try or copy or reenact any portion of the story. If you do... if you do, you are simply too stupid to be alive.
Yeah.
Don't bury a 7-year-old alive.
Don't diddle kids is the moral of the story.
Don't cut your head off.
Yeah. Please don't do anything in this story says so. But getting back into the album, the next song, Waiting. King wakes in his room at the sanitarium to make his move to kill the nurse that brings him his pills. He strangles her, and when she dies, he finds that she was holding the key to leave the sanitarium. So obviously King takes that key, and he makes his way out of the sanitarium and into the graveyard. First thing I noticed on this song when it first started, it's almost
that he did as Jack Nicholson did before him.
Exactly. First thing I noticed is the drum intro. It's almost the same as exactly as Welcome Home. Yep. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yep. It's almost identical. So that's what.
There's a couple spots on here I noticed where they repeat like little different parts like that, whether it be on the drums or the guitar.
Yeah, and there's also another song here. I don't remember if it was this one or another one where there's a part that actually has the same part as the song Dead Again on Merciful Fate's Dead Again album. It's almost exactly the same. I can't remember what song it is off the top of my head, but I'll probably figure that out as the album goes on. But Waiting, it's a pretty cool song. I like this one too. I love the verses in the first one. Just after midnight, they're bringing me my pill. Just after midnight, lights are out at Black Hill. It's a really cool verse there. And then I love the chorus.
Waiting in the dark. That's the best part of the song.
Yep. Yeah, that is the best. I think so. Really cool chorus, and yeah, great song. I mean, some cool lyrics. He also threw in the 666 miles in here, and that's pretty cool. So good stuff. Lisa?
Yeah, it's got texture, and it goes from one feel to another feel. It has like a double kick. It's real fast, and then a halftime chorus, and some killer solos. It's got a little mid-tempo, like a bridge, and do it later on with some ghastly, like some kind of stuff like that. And I like how they mixed it and they panned some of these guitar parts left and right. So when you're listening with headphones, it's like a little guitar over here and a little guitar over here. It's like, yeah, a little brain massage, man. So I think like I said, some of the mix is like, I wish the bass was more defined and stuff. But as far as just engineering fun, I think they pulled out some cool tricks on this tune.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, you know what? The mix bothers me a little bit, but the songs are there, so it's all that matters,
And you get used to it. At first, it was jarring, like the first song. It's
right.
Like, this sounds
like,
fucking weird. And then you're like, okay, you get into it.
Yeah, exactly. Ralph?
I would go into what the production means to me, but I'm so bored of me talking about production that I'm not going to bring it up.
Okay.
I think this song has, of course, the Welcome Home little drum fill, but that solo that kicks off this song is lethal.
It is.
And, I think the song is right there with Black Hill Sanitarium. It's a great 1-2 punch off this album. And it kind of reminds me, it doesn't really sound like it, but the vibe of Mansion in Darkness, the second track, it's like full. And Children of Bodom, oddly enough, did a cover of this.
Really?
And it's not good.
Children of Bodom.
I don't think it's good.
Yeah,
they covered this song, which is weird. You think about it.
It is strange.
Yeah, I remember when somebody played me, I was like, ain't that a King Diamond song? Like, yeah. I was like, what album? Graveyard. I was like, damn, covered a Graveyard song.
Deep cut.
And then I kept listening. Deep album, And then I kept listening. I was like, yeah, they're saying as good as the King Diamond version. But I imagine
the music would be. The music's good.
Yeah, no. I mean, they play it well, but the vocal delivery, it's just, it's off.
Yeah.
It has a better production, Yeah. But I love it. I love this song.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
What's your name, Greg?
Yeah, I love this song too. Fucking that solo was probably my favorite one on the record. Actually, it's a good one. And since Ralph mentioned that Children of Bodom did a cover of that song, I noticed when I was doing research and stuff online that this seems to be the most popular King Diamond album among black metal fans.
That's really strange.
That makes sense, though, I think.
Yeah, they like the story
subject
and the
matter,
raw DIY production.
That I can get, yeah.
And kitty porn. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, they just say they like the story. They don't say what they like about it. But I wouldn't be shocked if any of them dudes running around painting their faces were Finding Neverland, if you catch my drift.
Well, Inquisition is one of those bands, and it's a shame because I really like that band. But one of the members were caught with kitty porn, and the band doesn't do nothing about it. So I was like, okay, fuck them entirely. I mean, I'm willing to forgive if they kick them out.
Yeah.
But they're a good band. It's just a shame,
Yeah.
Well, it's like the guy from Manowar, the guitarist. They got him doing that shit too. So
exactly.
But I still like Manowar as long as he's gone.
Great guitar player. Love those albums, but
Well, drummer from Judas Priest.
Well, that one's a little iffy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little different, I think.
Yeah, it's a little iffy because before he died, he claimed he was framed and that he got bad advice from lawyers, which does happen in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
There's innocent people that say, if you don't say you did it, you're going to do a long time in jail. Just admit you did it, you won't do that long. So that's what Dave Holland claims. Okay. And also in the K.K. Downing book, he swears there's no way Dave Holland did it. He thinks he was innocent.
Yeah. Okay, well that makes me feel better because I fucking love that guy's strumming.
I mean, God, it was like a kid in a wheelchair on top of that. It's like, man, double whammy, huh?
Yeah, it sucks. All right, we move on to Heads on the Wall. This one doesn't really have much of a story. It's just King, I guess, thinking about him when he left the sanitarium, and he makes it to a tomb in the graveyard, and he sees heads on the wall. That I kind of don't understand. Why is there heads on the wall in a tomb?
I don't care.
Maybe because of his
I don't
insanity.
care why.
I thought it was because of his insanity, and he was like imagining the people he was going to kill. And then after he takes out that troublesome gravedigger and that lustful hooker, he hangs their heads on the wall.
Okay, so yeah, vision. I think
Because he's crazy.
Is that he wrote heads on the wall? I'm looking, and he went, "That's fucking badass. I gotta fit this onto this album. How can I write that in there?" Because just that by itself is like, you can just take everything else off this album. That song is killing to me.
Yeah.
I love that part. I love that song, and I bet he just thought that just heads on the wall. It's just fucking badass. Okay, let's write that into the song somehow.
I like that explanation.
It came to him while he was going to the bathroom, brushing his teeth.
But yeah,
He liked the way his voice echoed in the shower stall, did he?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the best part of the song. That chorus, you know, it's so catchy. I'll just be not even listening to this album in a long time. I'll just be sick. That song will pop up in my head, and I'll be singing that chorus just out of nowhere. It's just so catchy, and it's just a good song in general too. You know, everything's cool in this song. I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I like the octaves.
Yeah, the album picks up, I think, for me on this song. You know,
this is my favorite track on the album.
Yeah,
I think too. King brings like this beautiful voice in the song, and I love his demonic voice and his high notes, and you know, he has such an amazing range, and I love the softness of the song. It's pretty different for the most part of all King Diamond songs, and it does crank later on, and it's epic as fuck, and that's why I love it so much. I think this is a classic and definitely my favorite. There's a very close second coming up, but this is definitely my favorite off the album.
Very cool. Greg?
Yeah, this is my favorite one too. I love how it's multi-parted and just his harmony vocals during the, opening part and how he switches up later on. It's great. Reminds me a lot of Black Sabbath's Wheels of Confusion, how it starts off soft and then just builds up to that great speedy end where he's talking about killing the gravedigger. And actually, even though the drums are kind of lackluster on this, I love that fill he does during that part.
Yeah.
when
it picks up.
Mm-hmm. Lisa, got anything else?
Yeah, it's a quick segue. It's a quick segue out of there too. It's ripping solo, killer riffs, and like you said, it's got some changes. It switches up to like boom, you're in a mosh pit. First you're like like this, doing this, and then you get in the pit, and then he brings you quick segue, boom, right back in that doomy chorus, and then of course insane ramblings over the end that it's totally over the top.
Yes.
King Diamond at his most at his silliest in some ways, but yeah, love this song. Lovely, that guitar intro, that melodic intro part. It's long, that first verse. It's just a killing song, man. Yeah, that's my favorite on the record too. It sounds like there's a consensus on that for
I think
a few of us anyway.
Yeah. And I forgot.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said I forgot about those voices at the end because I was listening to it in headphones earlier, and you hear them like, there's different things going on. They were really cool. It was funny. What were you saying, Ralph?
Well, it's off topic, but I really love that background Lisa has. Is that like your actual wall, or is that like...
No, that's a screen, dude. It's a screen. It's like one of them Chinese screens.
I was about to say, it reminds me of that Japanese restaurant type thing. That's
it is
badass.
Because my room is like, I've been shipping CDs, which is good, and I've been making a mess, and
so it's covering it.
It's like behind me, And then behind that is a mess because I'm a slob.
You should see what's in front of me. You would laugh. It's terrible. What were you going to say before, Greg? Because you had something on top of your head and you didn't get to say it.
Oh, well, Heads on the Wall. It's got those two solos in it, and I thought it was cool that they did that little dueling thing there.
Yeah.
I think Andy and what's it, Herb Simonson, they played really well together.
Yes,
So that was one of the highlights.
Yep. Next song, Whispers. It's not really a song, just a thing where King's hearing voices in his head telling him to get
his daughter. His daughter. Got to get his daughter. And that accent comes out. Love it.
Yeah. Cool
Sounds
stuff.
like something somebody would hear in their head in an H.P. Lovecraft movie.
Next song, I'm Not a Stranger. King talks about watching a 7-year-old girl named Lucy at her school. He knows her schedule and he knew exactly when she was leaving. He talks to Lucy into coming with him where she can wait until her daddy comes to get her. He brings her to the tomb at the graveyard. Another really great song. A lot of catchy stuff in here. I love how the guitars are very chuggy in this song. A lot of really good stuff in the song. I like how I like the end of it where he's like, "Sweet graveyard, here we come." That's pretty cool. And the other weird part is towards the end where it goes, I, and you hear like if you listen to headphones going back and forth with the eyes, where he goes, I will be soon. No, and I, and you will soon be home now. That's pretty cool. A lot of good stuff. Oh, somebody's there. Who was that? Your order is here.
Hey, there's a kitty cat over there too.
Yeah.
Get all kinds of visitors.
Maybe that's a coyote. Is that a coyote? All right.
All right.
Lisa.
No, it's a cat. I just muted myself because there's other people here. And they were
okay.
Tell them to shut up. We're busy doing a podcast.
What the fuck?
This is a very important podcast.
That's right. King Diamond is very important.
It is.
Damn right. Well, this is another Muppet Groove song. You know, the King Diamond Muppet Groove. You know, but it's got the gallop, it's got the rum tum 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 kind of thing going on. It's got some key kind of changes in it, the panning back and forth. I don't think the song to me isn't so catchy. It's not something that I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night and remember, but it's just got a lot of cool things going on. And the harmonies are cool. This is probably the most like pedo-y song on the
yes,
yes, album, which is kind of but you know, he's telling a story, so
yeah, it's not true.
It's not my favorite song on the album, but it's cool. You know, it's got a lot of texture to it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's terrible, but I don't think it's as good as what we've heard so far. I think listening to this, it's a little more like they're a little more catered to the story than the actual music.
Yeah,
you know, but there is a drop off on this track. There's elements I like, and I don't think it's a shit song. I just feel like it doesn't really. I don't know, like, you know, I feel like listening to this, I'm paying more attention to the story than the actual music because I don't really see a connection with both. That's how I feel about it.
It's okay. We'll let you have your feelings. Greg?
No, I agree with Ralph. It does kind of drop off here. I mean, you get a lot of story, but it's not really interesting at all musically, other than the heavy part where, "Oh, Lucy, take my hand." That's pretty cool, but it's all right to listen to when you're listening to it as a whole. It's not a bad song. It's just not very interesting, especially with what it follows.
Yeah.
No, there's worse on here, I think.
Oh, there definitely is.
For the same reasons, too. For similar reasons.
Yeah, this is what I was saying about, you know, on some tracks, it seems like they sacrificed musicianship to further the story. And it's real atmospheric, and it's got that creepiness to it, but it's just boring.
Yeah. Digging graves. King has Lucy stay in the tomb while he goes and digs 7 graves, each with a headstone that says Lucy Forever. Now, one thing that I thought about this when I saw Lucy Forever, does that kind of somehow mean Lucifer? Because when he says it in one of the songs, or does he say it in this song? Or does he say? I think he says it at the end of the song. The way he says it, Lucy Forever, it sounds like if you put it together, it says Lucifer. Isn't that kind of interesting?
That's pretty cool.
I got the vibe it's about some girl that grows up and marries a Cuban.
It's quite possible. Let me look through the lyrics. I don't see anything about a Cuban.
The Babalu remix.
Hey, Fred, how would you like to? No.
Oh, man.
I like this song. My favorite part in this whole thing is when the song fades away, and he comes back and he's like, "Into the night I go." I love that part. I love that part of the song. It's so really cool. And then after that too, when it comes back and he's doing, like you say with that, like what do you call that, Lisa? Like the Muppet kind of thing. When it comes,
groove, man.
yeah, and I will be your misery, and it just feels like he's like dancing around saying all this stuff. I love that part. I love this song. I think it's really, really cool.
It's
what do you think?
My second favorite song on the record. Heads on the Wall and this song, my 2 favorite songs on this record, man. And I'm telling you, I've been like, I torment my husband sometimes by singing King Diamond songs to him at random around the house or when we're taking a walk. And one of us said, "Into the night I go, you can't follow me." It just gets in your brain. It's Sabbathy. You know, does that mean that I am insane? I love that shit, man. But there's this one line. It's like, is it true what they say? Little girls don't cry. Is that what he says in there?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, who would say little girls don't cry? That's what they do. They cry.
I don't know.
They play with dolls and cry and break shit.
I don't know why he said that. It's kind of weird.
Why would he say little girls don't cry? So other than that, it's a great song. And the octave vocals, the dreamy kind of, I just love there's a lot of octave vocals. And it's like in my own albums, I've only used them a few times. And I'm like, why don't I do that more often? Because it sounds so freaking cool.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I just thought of? Maybe he said, well, that song, Big Girls Don't Cry.
Big Girls Don't Cry?
Little girls.
But little girls don't. Big girls don't cry.
Yeah. That's kind of strange.
Whatever. I don't care. It's a great song.
Yeah. Ralph?
Well, I'm going to seem like the odd man out because I will say it's better than, the song before it. But, I think it's an improvement. A little more thought out to match the music to the story on this song. But again, I don't think it's as good as the 1, 2, 3 punch that, and that Into the Night I Go is a little too Dr. Seussish for, I can't even say it. Dr. Seuss-ish for me. The rest is okay, better than I'm Not a Stranger, is the best I can say about it. Yeah. But not the worst on here.
Still not the worst. Oh, wow. It's funny. I used to write Into the Night I Go and You Can't Follow Me on Facebook, and people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Greg?
I feel the same way Ralph does. It's okay. It's better than the last song, but it's definitely not the best.
I love it. You're wrong. You are wrong.
That is true. We are wrong, right?
Wrong.
But that
wrong.
That
like
Into
Donald
the
Trump.
Night I Go part, that would probably go good as like a vampire saying that in a Roger Corman movie. It's literally that cheesy. Which I mean, he sounded like that before, but never quite relished in it like that.
Too funny. Meet Me at Midnight. King calls Lucy's father, and it's revealed that Lucy's father is Mackenzie, the mayor of the town, and the man who threw King into Black Hill Sanitarium. King caught Mackenzie molesting Lucy, but no one believed him. King tells Mackenzie to meet him at the graveyard at midnight, or Lucy will be dead. Another pretty cool song. Again, I like the part here where "Meet Me at Midnight" by Cemetery Gates. Meet me at midnight, or Lucy will be dead. I think that's pretty somewhat catchy. You know, it's not the catchiest thing on the album, but I like that line and the way it's done in the song. Other than that, this song's kind of wordy to me. I think there's a lot of words in the verses and stuff, but it's still I still like it. You know. Not a favorite off the album, but still a decent song. Lisa?
Yeah, I think this is one of those songs where it's not about the music as so much as it's about the storytelling. Okay. So this song doesn't really catch me so much. It's got some cool riffs. It comes in really strong. I really like how it comes in after the last song, and it's kind of got cool textures where like they have the same riff going on, but first the drummer goes boom chuck, and then they switch up to a double kick where the same thing's going on, same verse is going on, but just changing the drums really adds so much texture. It's just not the most inspired song, and there's something about this that reminds me of another song on another album that I can't remember which one it was, but
Cry Tough from Poison.
Wow,
what a ripoff, man!
What part in the song?
You know,
where he's talking about how he's got to make his dreams happen, man.
I don't remember. It might be the chorus, but I don't really remember. I can't bring this song to mind. I took notes about it, wrote down about it. The other songs, a lot of them, I can bring them to mind. This one, it's more like I remember parts of it, like the music of it, but I don't really remember like the vocal line so much. Yeah.
Well, you got to remember memorable. In the chorus part, you got to remember the thing where he's like screaming over not screaming, but he does that I can't do it. Yeah.
Okay, that was cool.
Yeah, I like that part.
Yeah.
Ralph.
Yeah, I know my friend Bobby hates this album, but he loves this song.
Really?
And a shout out to Bobby because he ain't watching. He's a cool dude though. I love him, but that's for not watching this.
Thanks for not watching, Bobby.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. I think it's a pretty kick-ass. But there again, like I'm not a stranger. The music takes a backseat to the story in some parts, then some parts just flat out own. I love the line. Probably my favorite line in the whole album is where he says he's such a sick he's just a sick little man. He's so much sicker than me, and I am. I love that. I think that's the coolest line in the whole album. I love that part.
Yeah.
But there's parts I love, and there's parts that I like that song I was talking about. The story takes a backseat to the music. Yeah. So it's like half and half for me.
Got it. Greg.
I like it better than the last two, and there's some really killer riffs in this. But yeah, it's too wordy and too much of the story shoved into it. There's parts where he's just spitting lines out where they're just nothing, just boring as shit. But I don't hate it. It's just uneven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally get it. Next song, Sleep Tight Little Baby. King puts Lucy into a coffin while she is sleeping and puts her into one of 7 graves. Mayor Mackenzie finally shows up and King welcomes him into the tomb. This song, I kind of like it. It's very slow. It's a little... It bothers me a little bit, because the lyrics are about, putting the girl into the coffin, and then you're thinking, shit, the girl's gonna freaking die in the coffin on the ground. Something's gonna happen to this girl. But I like the part where he's like, oh, the worms, and then it gets like really crazy again and goes like, is that your daddy? But then the other thing that bothers me too is when you hear the little girl saying daddy, daddy, daddy in the background. That for some reason that gets to me. I don't know. It's an okay song though. It's not too bad.
It has like 3 little girls type of intro.
I was
from
going
the
to mention that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I love that is that your daddy part, but it kind of fizzles out in parts. Some changes just do nothing for me, and it's cool in parts, and it loses me in other parts. Yeah. That's how I feel about this one.
Yeah, it's a strange song. Lisa?
It's trippy. It's almost like psychedelic in some places, It's really kind of hippie trippy in some way, and I think that's like why a lot of people they go, "What the fuck with this album?" Because it's slow and doomy and groovy in a lot of places. That intro though, that keyboard sound is like it's like the Yamaha DX7 fucking what is this? Star Trek: The Next Generation music or something? I don't know, but it's got some cool shit in it. I like that you daddy and all that stuff. The sleep tight little baby. But that girl crying, man, that little girl crying, that gets me. That's like, that's just fucking disturbing, man.
Yeah.
So that's why he's like, let me put a disclaimer on this album, especially for parents, you know.
Right. The thing that bothers me, though, and I was talking to Greg about this earlier, the girl crying. It's a baby's cry. The girl's 7 years old.
Yeah. It's a little young.
It's a little too young.
Little girls cry.
Yeah, but not like a little baby. Like that.
Well, he was a perverted swine. Maybe he was.
Maybe.
He was a son of a sheep.
No son of a sheep.
You degenerate son of a sheep.
It rhymes.
It does. Greg, what do you feel about this song?
This is my least favorite song on the whole album. I
Really?
don't like this one because isolated parts of it are really cool, but when they do the changes, they totally don't go together, and it sounds too disjointed, and it really annoys me because it's almost like it was unfinished. It was like they had the different parts, and a few of them are legitimately really cool, like the opening and the daddy part and all that, but they just couldn't figure out how to put them all together in a cohesive way. Some of it's really cool and creepy, but overall it irritates me because when it changes up, it just like stops dead and then starts something else. It doesn't work right for me.
Yeah. Well, that's what I feel about the next song, Daddy. Lucy cries for her father while King decides what he's going to do with him. This song, this is my least favorite song of this whole album. It's just a slow song, and it picks up here and there, especially towards the end, but I just think it's a mishmash of just, I don't know. I don't like this song at all. Lisa?
Yeah, it's kind of bluesy in a way, though. It's it's like a bluesy ballad in a lot of ways, so that's kind of cool. His screaming is so fucking over the top.
Yeah.
And then what's that part where he goes, "What am I to do with you?" So that makes it worth it. But other than that, it's kind of like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's a little bland. Ralph?
Yeah, I don't like this one. It has some parts I like. I like when King is yelling at Mackenzie, with that, "You degenerate son of a sheep," I like that part. The rest, it does nothing for me.
Greg?
Yeah, degenerate son of a sheep is probably my favorite guy I've been lying on this whole record, but I don't like this song either. Same problems as the last one.
Yeah.
That's just like there's this stretch of this record I'm really not a fan of, from I'm Not a Stranger down to Daddy. And
I think they put two slow songs
some
back
of
to
it's
back.
passable, but the two of these back to back just do not work. Yeah. It works for the flow of the story.
Trick or Treat. King blindfolds Mackenzie and has him dig to try to find Lucy. King ends up hitting Mackenzie in the back of the head, and he falls into Lucy's grave. King then drags him back to the tomb and ties him down. I like this song. This is my favorite track off of this album.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so, right? Let me see. Yeah, this is my favorite song. Well, maybe my second favorite song. I don't know. It's one of my favorites. Let's just say that. Some really cool stuff in here. I like the chorus, "Trick or treat, let us hide and seek, follow me into the night, where the sun don't shine, but the moon is bright." And the other line was, "Lucy is sleeping on one of 7 graves, now you decide which one is trick or treat." Really cool stuff in here. I like this song a lot. It's a good one. Lisa?
Yeah, it's a good song, and it's a combination of storytelling, and it's a cool song. So it's not, to me, it's still not the most catchy song.
No.
But it's not like, he's just, trying to finish the album and tell a story. And it's got a lot of changes. It starts out catchy as fuck. It's got that Muppet groove in it, that classic King Diamond thing, man. And then it changes up to like these triplet kick drums. It's got a lot. It's got a lot going on. And like Greg said about the what was it, Sleep Tight, or was it Daddy or Sleep Tight? You were saying it's just like chunks of a song that don't really segue together. Sleep Tight, yeah. With the segue, I think the segues they work. So I think it's a well-crafted song. Like I said, I don't think it's the most memorable song. It's not my favorite song as far as like the hook, but I think it's well written, very well written song.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah.
Ralph hates it.
It is very close to being my favorite song. It's like a little under, Heads on the Wall. I love this song. I love that beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. I love that intro, and I love how it keeps up with all the changes. Yeah, I dig this one a lot. Second favorite track. Almost favorite, man. I mean, it's almost tied with Heads on the Wall. I love it that much.
That's good stuff. Greg.
Yeah. Me too. Second favorite here as well. This is a great song. It's from the scream at the beginning to the changes in the song and the way it's speedier and it's done, and it's already got that raw production. It's like a 5-minute abridged version of Satan's Fall almost, with different lyrical content. I really like this song. They're on fire here.
Yes, they are. Next song, Up from the Grave. King starts going crazy while he's digging up Lucy. His vocals on this are fucking insane. I love this song.
I do too.
You are correct. His vocals are great, but this could have totally been a 1-minute interlude. I mean, come on. This is
right. It does.
Long.
It's that long? Wow. Yeah, it could have been shortened a little bit.
It's only 3 minutes and 18 seconds long.
That seemed like half an hour to me.
18 seconds longer. Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I'm like, do it again.
Yeah, no, that's my favorite part. That's my favorite.
It reminds me of in the movie Gremlins when she opens the door and they're all Christmas caroling to Zach Galligan's mom.
But I love that when it's up from the grave. I love that. I love that part. And then the la 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 thing too. I mean,
he could totally do all that one time in about a minute. And then
he could have. I do agree with you.
But he starts out singing it nice, and then he turns into Grover. La la. Yeah. So that's why you had to do it a couple of times.
And these are your hands.
And then at the end too, I think it's funny too when he says, "I sing so nicely to you, Lucy."
Lisa, I got a good one for you for Grover. One of these kids is not like the other. One of these kids is dead.
Oh, what's
that?
They used to do that on Sesame Street all the time.
Yeah,
one of these kids is not like the other, and they'd be doing something. Well, for the graveyard, one of them could be dead.
There you go.
Editing
he should
that
have been a
show.
guest. He should have been a guest. I'm serious.
All right, so Lisa, you like this song?
I love this song. Theremins, man. It's got theremins.
Yeah, it
you
does.
Can't argue with theremins.
That's right. Don't argue.
That's right. I'm wrong.
Ralph's wrong on this one too.
I'm wrong too. Trust me. This song really lost me. I see what King is doing, showing how insane the character is, but it's like a disgusting nursery rhyme. It's like musically it does nothing for me. And again with the Dr. Seuss shit with up from the grave, it's just right over my head. This is my least favorite on the album.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen tonight?
What?
Right before you go to sleep, you're going to hear up from the grave, up from the grave. It's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if you're aware of this. My place is haunted.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It is. I bought this place 23 years ago. An old lady died in here. And my guitar player, my brother, and not these past, but I had my bathroom fixed. I just had it fixed last week, but like 10 years ago. I had it remodeled too, and the guy that worked here left. He said, "Dude, I can't work." He saw the old lady.
Oh,
I've
really?
never seen her.
Wow.
I've never seen her, but there's 3 incidents that happened in my apartment that was definitely supernatural. One, the smell of hairspray coming out of where my air conditioner is. 2, I'm laying in bed watching TV, and all of a sudden I hear something fall in front of my TV. I go look, and it's roll-on deodorant. I'm like, what the fuck? It's always in my bathroom. And the third and the most freakiest thing was I woke up to this, and I woke up with a hand stinging.
Wow.
Like she slapped my hand, and I woke up. And I'm not one to believe in ghosts and talk about supernatural, but I'm telling you that happened to me.
Wow.
Now, the reason that, but here's the twisted part about it. I am definitely, and I won't go into details, but I'm positive this ghost is afraid of me because of the fucked up shit I've done in this apartment.
That's what she was slapping your hand.
That's gonna say
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. You're not boy. But yeah, I woke up and my hand was stinging, but I woke up to that sound. I was like, what the hell?
That's crazy.
So yeah. And I got this place for dirt cheap because she died and her sister, the government was coming down on her. So it's a condo on South Beach. It's very expensive to live here for $52,000. And believe me, this place goes for over double that, you know. So hey, man, fuck it, you know. Got an old lady spirit here that's afraid of me, and big deal, you know.
And she's seeing your dick.
So you know, up from the grave. It'll scare her more than me.
Yeah, true.
And Greg, you already gave your opinion to this, right?
Yeah. And it's
All right.
going to get stuck in my head. I'll just drown it out with Celtic Frost.
Yeah.
You will. Next song. I Am. King plays judge, lawyer, and jury against Mackenzie, accusing him of child abuse. Child abuse.
Hey,
I don't know where that came from.
You're the Highlander, Ralph.
I'm going to edit that. I'm starting that over. I Am. King plays judge, lawyer, and jury against Mackenzie, accusing him of child abuse, which King then sentences him to die. This song's pretty cool. It's okay, you know. Yeah, it's not one of my favorite songs over here. There's nothing really that sticks out to me, but it's an okay song. You know, can't really say too much about it. Lisa?
I like the organ. I think the organ's cool, and like in the middle, it's kind of like Deep Purple or Uriah Heep or something.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
sounds easy living a little bit.
Yeah, and it's got like headbanger kind of parts. It's got like wave your hand kind of parts. So it's got some different variety in it. It's got some cool boom chuck in it, and it has the corniest ever King Diamond vocal performance of all time, I believe, at the end. So, die. It's the corniest shit, I think, hands down.
But it's the most
that he's
memorable
ever done.
thing on this album.
I fucking love
Yes.
it.
I love the ending of this song, yes. Ralph?
Yeah. I love Andy's leads, and King's lyrics is like poetic justice in this. You know, this is how criminal justice system should treat people who hurt children, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, that's about all I like about it. Yeah, and the die part, I like it for, like, I love the die part like I love Kiss Meets the Fan of the Park. It's so bad, it's great, you know?
Yes.
And
Bingo.
musically, it just does not grab me.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
you know,
there's
that's
not much
as
there.
much as I can say about this song.
Yeah, I actually don't like that harpsichord part or whatever that organ part in there.
Organ. That was
Yeah.
cool.
It's cool sounding. It's just, I don't know, it just seems like it came out of nowhere. You know? Just weird.
I don't mind that. I kind of thought it fit.
Oh, yeah.
It's proto. You know, actually, this song reminded me of how I first heard this album. And it was with my ex-husband, who's a drummer I still work with. We're still real good buddies. And he's got a really good sense of humor. He loved King Diamond, loved Merciful Fate. And we were listening it in the car on our way to a gig out of town, and it got to that part. He said, "Die, die, 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 die," and we both started busting out laughing our asses off because it was so hilarious and so cool and so like Phantom of the Park.
Yeah.
And so that actually brought back the memory of how I first heard this album.
Wow.
Yep.
Greg, you want to add anything?
Nah, I mean, it's funny at the end. I love Andy's playing on here. I think the guitar-wise, at least, it picks back up here really all the way for the first time since Trick or Treat. So, you know, it's a nice little step back from Up From the Grave, but it's all right.
Yeah. And then the album finishes off with Lucy Forever. King thought he had Lucy on his side in killing her father, but Lucy turned on King, pulling a string where shattered glass would fall on King and cut his head off. King is now just a head on the floor, and he begs Lucy to take him, and she puts him in her backpack.
The end.
The end.
Yeah.
It pretty much sums up that song, and it's a cool ending to this album. You know, I love the ending where it's Lucy Forever, I'll be with Lucy Forever, and it just goes on and on and on from there. Some cool stuff in here with solos and whatever, but yeah, it's a good song. It's a good ending for the album. You know?
It's
Yeah.
not bad. It's just
Yeah,
not
at least-
very memorable.
Yeah.
No,
it doesn't-
yeah.
It doesn't end with a song that totally sucks.
Right.
I think it's decent. Music is not too off with the story. It is in spots, but it's not really mind-blowing like the first 3 tracks in Trick or Treat for me.
Yeah.
But it's pretty creepy, and, you know, it's funny how the decapitated head is still talking.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Overall, I feel it's not bad, but it's not great. It's kind of like in between. You know, so it's good it didn't end like on a Up From the Graves note.
Right.
Yeah.
Lisa?
Yeah, it's more storytelling. Yeah, it's more storytelling. I think it's got some cool parts. Like, I think the intro kicks ass. I think the guitars are like these cool stacked chords, and they got 2 guitars panned left and right, and one of them is here on the neck, and the other one's here on the neck, and it just sounds like this freaking wall of guitars. So it has its moments. I wish the bass was more defined, because you could hear some cool vrooms on the bass and stuff, and some of the lyrics are just like, what? Like, my soul is creeping into my brain.
Yeah.
Is that what he said? Did he really say
Yeah.
that? My soul is creeping up into my brain.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Where is it normally?
Where
In
is
your
it?
feet or something? I don't know. And then, oh God, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Each is a vision, like his head on the floor. Hey, Lucy!
Yeah.
Trying to find where it's
So yeah, it's got some. You know, their solos are really cool in this song. There's
Yeah.
some cool, like melodic, like real squealy, you know, solos in this tune. But yeah, it's still not. It's not like, oh yeah, I'll go to sleep thinking about this song kind of thing. So
No. It kind of takes all the themes from the album and different parts and the changes and stuff and kind of sums them up. It's a nice closer, but it's just not particularly hooky or anything.
yeah.
All I know is that when I go to sleep tonight, I'd rather hear up from the grave than la 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 la.
I don't know. I'd rather hear la 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 la.
I'd rather hear the usurper's tears guide my sword. Ugh.
Oh God! All right, so sum up the album. How do we feel about this album? Start with you, Ralph. How do you feel about the
I
Graveyard?
really, it's because, you know, of my fandom for King Diamond. It's hard for me to bash anything he's ever done, but I will put Graveyard kind of low in the discography, but it's still very enjoyable for the most part. And then there's just some parts that's,
Yep.
you know, but, you know, it's not like one of his highlights, but hey, man, at least once or once every other year, I'll pop it in.
Yeah.
You know, I'll throw it on the turntable and listen to it. I listened to it today, actually. So, and I enjoy it. There's just some parts that I see what he's doing. Like I said before, King Diamond's playing this very demented character, so he goes a little too over the top with the the la la and die and all that shit, which kind of like I don't know, it's like a little too over the top for me.
Yeah.
But it's King Diamond, man.
Can't
So
go
I
wrong with
forgive
King.
him.
What are you gonna do?
That's right.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Lisa, how you feel?
I love this album. I think it has its problems. I think it has its structural problems. But I understand when you're trying to put together a concept album, you have to tell the story and you have to finish the album. So, given that, but also just the strength of some of these songs, just the strength of fucking Heads on the Wall. This song gets a thumbs up for 2 thumbs up from me because I love songs that, I just love going. You go to a Dio concert and you're like this. You Sabbath, you're like this. And so it's nice to hear a King Diamond album that you could just double the fucking horns and rock out to like that. So yeah, I like this album and I'm glad that you asked me to do this again, like I said, because it reintroduced me to this album and I hadn't heard it in a long time. So, and I kind of written it off as, not one of my favorites, but then I forgot, some of my favorites are on this album. So it doesn't have to be the whole thing.
All right.
Yeah, Heads on the Wall. That alone makes up for every problem.
Yes.
It's such a great, great song. And it's so unique for King Diamond,
Yeah.
He kind of like goes a little off the path and does something that, man, if I was to compile top 15, top 20, it would definitely be on there as far as my favorite.
It'd have to definitely be on a best of King Diamond
I would
album.
definitely put it on there because it would. I love albums that are like this,
Right, yeah.
That take you on a journey. As much as I love the album Painkiller, it's a little too, I love Painkiller, don't get me wrong, but it's not Judas Priest to me because Judas Priest is always twists and turns.
Right.
So I love twists and turns. So to put Head on the Wall on a best of with a bunch of classic King, that would be so welcomed,
And it is on a best of. So I got this.
It is.
Here, and it's on there. Heads on the Wall and Waiting is on there. Yep.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
So there you go.
2 songs I like off this. You sure Up From the Grave ain't on there?
Up From the Grave is not on there. Nope. Sorry.
From the grave.
Greg?
Ham I Am.
You will not take those green eggs and ham or something like that. I like this one. It's pretty good. It's would probably rank towards the bottom of everything for me because it's not my top favorite, but I really like the doomy feel to it. The story's pretty cohesive and atmospherically, it's probably the best creepy vibe he got that way. And despite how silly some of it can sound, he does a really good job at making the character schizophrenic on here, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's worth listening to every now and then because the first 3 songs are great, especially Heads on the Wall and then Trick or Treat, which actually, until I listened to this a few times again recently, because I remember saying to you, Wayne, oh yeah, I check that out every now and then. I actually really like this record. Well, I realized I only ever listen to them 4 songs about once every couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of an album. But like everybody else says, I mean, I kind of rank it as the bottom 2. And actually, Voodoo used to be like the bottom of the King Diamond thing for me. But now I think this one is, after listening to it again.
I totally agree with you. I didn't get Voodoo for a while. And now I liked Graveyard more than Voodoo before. But not now, man. I actually love Voodoo a lot.
Yeah.
It grew on me. It's a grower.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. But yeah, I mean, there's some cool stuff on here, and I do like the story. I just wish the music was a little bit better. And I would actually like to see this played out in like a movie or some kind of Lifetime TV show or something. I think I'd make something cool visually.
Investigation Discovery.
They should make a movie for every King Diamond.
They should.
Album.
I'm surprised there hasn't been one made yet.
Them would be the best one, though.
It would be, of course.
Yeah.
That story rules.
Maybe one day we'll get that, but for now,
Sam Raimi has to do them.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he's good at having decapitated heads talk on those Evil Dead movies.
Well, maybe one day it'll happen, but that is The Graveyard. If you don't have it, go check it out and go buy it. You know, it's not too bad, so go listen to it. Listen to it on Spotify.
Buy every King Diamond album.
You can't go wrong with any King Diamond album.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to buy every King
agree
Diamond,
95%.
Yeah, thanks for what is that one again? Wait.
Something lullabies, right?
Dreams of Horror.
Dreams of Horror.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know something happened to me the other day that made me really upset with King Diamond. Was you know those Facebook memory things you get?
Yeah.
I got like one the other day. It's like 1 year ago. It showed me with King Diamond, like when I met him, and I'm like, yeah, 1 year ago they released one song off the next album that's still not here. What a tease, man! What the hell's going on with that new album? And now, let's make another Merciful Fate album. Stop, finish the King Diamond album, then focus on Fate. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Damn, man.
A lot of people.
He's worse than Thrash or Die.
Who's that?
Yeah, some band that takes forever.
But I also got this best of too. This is Nightmare in the 90s.
Huh.
And it's got all the albums from the other what the hell? Spider's Lullaby. Spider's Lullaby.
I've never even heard of that one.
Me neither. Never seen that before in my life.
It was released by Massacre Records, which King was on for a little while. But it goes from Spider's Lullaby to House of God. Yeah. So it's cool.
When he jumped back on Metal Blade, they released that pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's cool from a collecting standpoint. I always kind of thought it was useless as a compilation.
It kind of is. I like the booklet though the best because there's like pictures and stuff here that I don't have on the other stuff. You see, King Diamond was, I love that makeup there. With the old.
Nice.
Conspiracies, eh? Yeah. And you got that picture. That's pretty cool.
Sweet.
Pretty cool thing. Found it for like $6. I couldn't go wrong for $6. So.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Not bad. I believe that's it. Anybody have anything going on? Ralph, what's going on with you?
I'm going to record soon a Van Halen cover, Atomic Punk.
Cool.
Oh, yeah? Really? With who?
With some guy that sounds like Sean Connery sometimes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's up with that, man? Is it done? Are you guys recording it or what?
No, I got to get the drums done yet.
Lou Mavs wrote me. He's honored to do something with me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm honored to do something with you, bro.
Yeah. I told him about you, and he's like, you think he's going to do it? And he got all excited. I said, I don't know. I'll find out.
Yeah, I was like, I think I can handle that one.
Yeah.
I'll do it my style, but it'll be cool. Yeah. And no, nothing else really. Same shit. Working on the new Thrash or Die. Working on the old Leather album, EP, and the Van Halen cover, which I'm very excited about.
Yes, I hope to maybe get to that tomorrow. We'll see.
Right on.
Actually, this is the first time I've actually listened to that song.
What?
Yeah.
First
I have
time
the album. Ever? Not first time ever, but I have the album. I've had it for years. It's just, I don't know. I just always skip past that song for some reason. It wasn't a favorite song, but now that I'm listening to it and trying to learn how to play it, I actually like the song a lot. So
it's
about damn time.
Well, I'm a Sammy Hagar fan, so.
Yeah, right. Are you for real?
I like both.
I'd quit the. Oh, really?
I'm going to shake you around like an epileptic ragdoll.
Lisa, what do you got going on?
Well, I'm doing a Kiss song.
Oh, you
playing
are?
Some bass on a Kiss song with some guy.
Oh, who?
Waiting for that. I don't know. Some guy that sounds like Sean Connery. With you. So I'm looking forward to hearing what that turns out to be.
I am too.
Yeah, and I'm gonna write some lyrics for one of the last Splinter Throne songs that we need to have a full-length album. And so then we get to the point where we're just rehearsing to get in the studio, which is great. Feels like we're making it takes longer. Everything takes longer. And right now we're in the middle of a shutdown. Yeah. So, but we're starting to get close to having enough stuff to record. I also recorded a song for a German artist. He's got a band. I think it's called Tight, and his name is Stefan George. And so I just recorded some vocals for him. And just staying busy. My mother-in-law moved in, so we're taking
fun.
care of she's so freaking cute. It's like having a pet. We gotta feed her, we gotta bathe her, we gotta entertain her, you know, and so she's adorable. So that keeps me busy. But yeah, I'm still trying to keep the music moving forward.
Cool.
So.
That's all that matters. Keep the music going. And I actually recorded a song, and I wanted to do it on this show because this has something to do with King Diamond. I did a Merciful Fate cover of Evil.
I loved it. I heard it.
It was very good.
Jeff Richards did the vocals. Very cool guy. Ryan Pierce from Australia did both guitars. People watched the video. Only one guitarist? Yeah, he did both of them, and he's fucking awesome. First time he ever heard this song before, and he played everything like perfect to a T. I did drums, and our good old friend George Dimitri from the band Timeless Haunt, he plays the bass, and you can find that at the end of this show. And then you can also add Jeff Richards on YouTube. Just look him up, Jeff Richards. The video's up on there as well. Give him a subscribe. Tell him we sent you.
And it's produced by Quincy Jones.
Yeah.
So check that out, and we will see you guys next time when we
Schmack-a-magob.
We schmack-a-magob you. But when we also talk about Merciful Fate's Dead Again, I believe, right, Greg?
Yes.
That would be next. All right. We will see you next time. Adios.
Live long and prosper.
Next time on James Brown's Celebrity Hot Tub Party.
Die.
Oh, really? Too hot in the hot tub.
La 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 la.